Namaste and welcome to your creative yoga practice. Today's class will be a little bit flowy, but also definitely has themes of Hatha yoga. We will begin on our back bodies. You can make your way there when you are ready. Settling down with the feet extended to the bottom corners of your mat and your arms resting by your sides. Tapping into your breath, your physical body, and your energy. Becoming aware of what is present and what isn't, and using these discoveries to make this practice your own, to modify, to set an intention or purpose for your practice that will best serve you. Becoming aware of each inhale, feeling your chest rise, expand, the ribs pulling apart, and each exhale holding you, grounding you, letting everything draw inwards. Lean into and trust your own intuition. You can step your feet down to the mat about hip width apart, or you can bring them a little bit wider and let the knees fall in towards each other, placing your hands onto the belly. Feel the support underneath you and allow your body to soften into your mat. Creating space to let go of any expectation or judgment that you may have of the practice or of yourself, or of your body or of your mind. As you breathe here, invite a sense of openness, a willingness to move freely, exploring each shape with a creative mind and open heart. And bringing your feet back together, extend the right leg up to the sky, bringing your hands around the hamstring. Reach the heel, pull the toes to the face, gently tugging on the hamstring to get a deep stretch into the back of the leg. And pointing the toes, bringing the stretch into the front of the leg and the ankle. Bring the foot into a neutral position and start to roll the ankle around in one direction. We'll switch directions here. Good. Now flexing the foot, open the arms into a T or a cactus, point the toes and start to draw little circles, gradually moving from the size of a tennis ball to a basketball to as wide and long as these circles can get, getting into the hip joint while also using a little bit of containment and engagement in the belly. When it feels natural for you, switch directions. Starting with the big circles, but gradually bringing them to that smaller size until you can find stillness. We'll find a twist, drop the legs over towards the left side, stack the hips. You can allow the legs to bend comfortably as much as you need. Full belly breath. You can roll slowly back onto the back body, stepping both feet to the ground, bringing the hips back in line with the shoulders. Wrap your hands around the left hamstring and reach the heel of the left foot to the sky. Pull the toes to the face, gently pulling the hamstring towards you. Good. Now pointing the left toes, feel a stretch in the top of the foot, the leg, and the ankle. Roll the toes around in a circle, getting out any creaks and cracks, and switch directions. Good. Pull the toes to the face, open the arms, point the toes, and start to draw those little circles. Keep all the muscles in the leg engaged as you get the circles a little bit bigger, moving into the hip joint. Switch directions. Gradually getting the circles to be a little bit smaller. Good. Find stillness. And draw the legs over towards the right. Keeping the left leg extended. Stack the hips. Stay rooted through the left shoulder. And take a few deep belly breaths. In your time, step the feet down to the mat, hug the knees into the chest. To come into a child's pose, yogi's choice, you can roll onto the side body, or you can rock and roll along the spine a couple of times, coming into a seat, cross over the ankles, and then make your way into your child's pose. Opening the knees as wide as feels comfortable. Let the forehead rest down to the mat as you tune back into your breath. Lift yourself up just a little bit here. Pick up your body weight and drop it over the right leg, getting a deep stretch into the right hip joints. Also, a little side bend into the left side body. Try to root down through the left hip with every exhale. And begin your journey to the other side, lifting the heart, walking the hands to the left, and dropping the belly over the left leg. Feel each inhale and each exhale. Good. Now coming up through center. Take one more breath in a neutral child's pose. Coming up into a seat, drawing your knees towards each other. If sitting on your knees isn't comfortable, you can always sit onto a block or just sitting cross-legged. Let yourself get used to this upright position. We'll take an inhale, reach your arms out by your sides, palms will reach overhead. And exhale, bring your arms back down by your sides. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, draw them down. Tuning into the pace, the rhythm, the fluidity of your breath, and allowing it to come into the body as well. Keep the belly engaged, the chest proud. Place your right hand down by your right side and reach the left arm up and over. Sending your hips over to the left, stay grounded and open through the left side body. Revolving the chest up to the sky, start to draw circles with the left arm. And just staying in one direction, find your full range of movement. Switch your direction. And then reaching the right arm overhead, start to dive forward over the right leg. Reach your arms out in front of you and come into your side bend on the other side. So the left palm is down and the right arm reaches up high. We'll flow a couple times with our breath here. With your exhale, fold forward, stretching into the sides and back body, coming back up on the right. Good. Take a few more here, following your breath. Not worrying about what it looks like, but rather just focusing on how it feels in the body. Good. The next time you come up on the left side, hold it here. The right arm overhead, and you can start to draw those circles. Keep rooting down through the right hip. Switch directions. Find stillness, leaning over with the arm and coming up, shoulders on top of your hips. Good. Pull yourself into a tabletop, planting the hands in front of you. Then tuck the toes and make your way into a downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up to the sky, you can pedal out through the legs a few times, bending one knee and then the other. Spreading the fingers out wide, press down through the fingertips. Pull yourself forward into a plank, shifting the shoulders beyond the wrists. Then send the heels backward, stretching into the backs of the legs. Shift the weight forward, stretching into the wrists. Don't let the hips tip down. Doing this a couple of times, just getting that really deep stretch, activating through the tops of the legs, the backs of the legs, and the back body. Good. Shift forward and then lower down to the belly, chaturanga. Good. Find a baby cobra, lifting the chest up just a little here. And release the chest back down. We'll find half cobra and half intimidation cobra. So keep the left hand under the shoulder, but then open the right hand to the side, lifting the elbows and come onto the fingertips. Press down through the left hand, use the muscles in the back body, and breathe in, lift the chest. Breathe out, lower down, keep the right elbow lifted. Good. Inhale, press yourself up as much as it feels good. And exhale, release down. Good. Once more here. And we'll switch sides. Right hand comes under the shoulder. The left hand comes out, fingertips down, left elbow lifts. Breathe in, lift the heart. Moving through the spine, use the muscles in the back. Exhale, lower. Take two more with your breath. Good. And you can make your way into a downward facing dog, both hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes, hips go up to the sky. Give yourself a full breath here. And begin to walk your hands towards your feet, taking your time, coming to the bottom of your mat. Option to find a deep forward fold, bringing your hands to the backs of the legs, drawing your belly towards the thighs. Inhale, come into a halfway lift, hands come to the fronts of the legs, flat back. Exhale, fold back down. Good. Rise up to stand, reaching your arms up high overhead, palms will touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart space. Moving through a little balancing sequence here. Bring the weight through all four corners of your feet, pulling the kneecaps up to the hips, find balance, find strength. Float the right knee in front of you, grounding down through the left hip, straightening through the left leg. Then press the right heel out in front of you, straightening the right leg. Step it down, and then you're going to float the left leg off of the mat, pointing the toes back behind you for warrior three. Steady breath. With control, float the left knee into stork in front of you. Flex the left foot, and then you're going to extend the left leg. Step it down as you transition to your warrior three, floating the right toes back behind you. Good, we're not here for long. Find your strength, your balance. Come up to stand, step the right foot beside the left. Arms reach up overhead, palms touch, a little back bend here, squeeze the belly. Then bend the elbows, bringing the thumbs to the back of the body between the shoulder blades. Keep lifting up through the elbows, belly stays contained. Good. Extend your arms up high once more and fold down to the mat. Halfway lift on your inhale, flat back. And fold back down, exhale. Come up to stand, reach your arms up high. Back bend if you'd like. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Now we're going to find a little bit of a toe squat and a lunge. To start, drop the right knee down beside the left ankle. Tuck the back toes and sink back to the right heel. Try to keep lifting up through the heart space. Stay controlled through the inner thighs. Find strength in the left leg. Press yourself up to stand. Right foot steps beside the left. Switch sides. Now the left knee comes down. Sit back towards the left heel. Good. Find your breath. And we'll press up one more time to stand. Come back down into your lunge. This time the right knee comes back down. Sit back to the right heel. Good. Find your balance here. You have the option to bring the hands to the mat. See if you can swing the left leg all the way around behind you, tucking the back toes down to the mat. This one's definitely a challenging pose. You can lift up off of the right heel if you need. It's okay to fall out. Invite this openness to release that judgment and to just play around. Challenge the body, challenge the mind. When you're ready, if you aren't already, plant your hands to the mat. Getting a deep stretch into the hip flexor, maybe come up onto your fingertips. Good. Plant the palms and we'll come into pigeon pose here, floating the right toes off the ground and drawing them over to the left edge of your mat so you can settle the right knee by the right wrist. We'll stay in this active pigeon, lifting up through the heart, but make sure that the left leg is straight back from the hip. With your exhale, pull the elbows back and draw the belly to the thighs. Stay a little bit lifted. And a strong inhale, press back up. Exhale, lower. Reach the crown of the head forward. Inhale, press back up. Take one more of these breaths. And tuck the back toes. Lift the knee and step the right toes up into your three-legged dog, squaring off the hips. Full breath in to broaden across the shoulders. Breath out, bring the knee to the nose and step the right foot down between the hands. Spin the left foot down and windmill the arms up to warrior two. Checking in with any alignment, making sure the right knee is open. Reach the right arm up to the sky, reverse warrior. Lengthen the right leg for reverse triangle. Reach the right arm forward, send the hips back for triangle. The outside of the right hand comes to the inner right leg. Focus on opening the chest. Press up to stand. We'll find Skandasana towards the left leg at the bottom of your mat. Your palms can stay together, left forearm to the left thigh, or you can plant the hands to the ground, really getting that deep stretch to the right inner thigh. Lift the hips and turn to face the left leg at the bottom of your mat. Step the right foot to cross the ankle behind the left. Enjoying this deep stretch in this variation of Uttanasana. We'll slowly come up to stand, but take your time knowing that your balance will be altered here. Sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Please do the opposite of what I'm doing here. You're going to hold onto the right wrist and hinge over towards the left, getting a stretch into the right side body, and you can bend slightly into the left leg. Good. Come up to stand. Uncross the ankles and slowly bring hands to heart center. We're going to repeat all of that to make our way up to the top of the mat once more. Stepping the left knee beside the right ankle, sit back to the heel, find the upright spine, press up to stand, and we'll switch sides. Right knee bends down by the left ankle. One last time, inhale, press yourself up. Exhale, the left knee comes down inside the right ankle. Pausing here for a breath. Good. Now finding that tricky transition, swing the right leg all the way back behind you, tucking the back toes, lifting the knee. Good. Hands can come to the mat. Try to lift up through the heart space, squaring off the hips. Beautiful job. Release the hands to the ground. Find a breath, opening the heart. And we'll make our way into pigeon pose. Float the left knee off of the mat. Drop the toes over towards the right. The knee will be behind the left wrist. Send the right leg straight back behind the hips. Good. Inhale, reach up with the heart. Exhale, reach the crown of your head forward towards the bottom of your mat. Press up and lower back down. Press yourself up and make your way into your three-legged dog. Planting the hands, tuck the right toes, and the left toes will go up to the sky. Good. Bend the knee, bringing it in towards the nose. Step the left foot down for warrior two. Windmilling the arms up, gaze goes forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Reverse your warrior, left hand reaches up. Keep the deep bend into the left knee. Lengthen through the left leg, reverse triangle. And Trikonasana, reach the left fingers forward. Lower the outside of the hand to the inside of the leg. Open the chest with the right arm, maybe the gaze lifts. Hug the belly in tight, slowly rise up and bend into the right knee, finding Skandasana at the bottom of your mat. Draw the left toes to the face, maybe the hands come down to the ground. Bring the hands to the mat if they aren't already. Straighten through the legs, turning your hands to the top of your mat once more. Step the left foot back behind the right ankle. Finding Uttanasana, the forward fold. Breathe through any discomfort here. In your time, slowly rise up. Holding on to the left wrist, side bend to the right, getting a stretch into the left side body. Soft bend into the right knee if you need it here. And come up to stand, uncross the ankles. Bring your hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky and fold forward to the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to the plank. We'll move through one more flow here. Shift forward, inhale. Exhale, lower arms graze your sides, come onto the belly. Inhale, baby cobra or cobra. Exhale over the knees, come into your downward dog. Good. Finding sleeping hero, drop each knee behind each wrist, and then bring the big toes together underneath your hips. This might be enough for you here. If the sensation is too much, you can sit your hips up onto a block or simply just unbend your knees and extend your legs straight out in front of you. Otherwise, you can lower onto your elbows. Maybe you could lower all the way onto the head or the back body. Allow yourself to slow down here. Slow down your breath. Find your presence and open the mind to all the possibilities, the creativity that exists within yourself. If you are all the way down on your back body, begin to slowly lift yourself up, coming onto the forearms, the palms, and then shoulders on top of your hips. We're going to come into one last back bend, camel pose. So tuck the toes and you can remain with your hips towards your heels, bringing your hands to your low back, or you can lift up into a kneeling position. Press your palms into your low back, squeeze your elbows towards each other. Keep pressing the hips forward as you hinge backward from the middle of the back. Option to reach your hands back towards your heels or even untucking the toes if that's in your practice. Think of your head as an extension of your back body, not leaning too far back. Beautiful job. Come up through center, shoulders on top of your hips, and then sit back down towards your heels. Option to untuck the toes. Place your palms to the tops of the legs and just breathe here, letting sensation pass. Good. When you're ready, come all the way onto your back body, taking your time, letting this movement be a part of your practice. Step your feet down to the ground and firmly ground down through the low back, the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Open your arms up into a T or a cactus. We'll lift up the hips, dropping them over towards the right. Lower the knees to the left, finding a supine twist. Stacking the right hip on top of the left, turn your gaze to the right. A little bit of engagement into the belly. Lift the legs. Ground down through the feet, lifting the hips, drop them over to the left. So you can find your twist, dropping the legs to the right, gaze goes left. Full belly breaths. Squeeze the belly, lift the legs, and find a neutral spine. Feel free to take any last poses your body might be craving, maybe taking a shavasana here. If you are ready to end your practice, come up into a seat, and we'll close it off with a final breath together. Inhale, arms will reach up to the sky, palms will touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart space. The light in me sees, acknowledges, and honors the light in you, and knows that they are the same. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.